Okay, hello everyone. So in previous video I had dealt with classification of Indian soils, and I had dealt till red and yellow soil. In today's video I will be covering laterite soil and other soils, beginning with laterite soil. Laterite word has its origin from a word later, and the meaning of this word is brick. So you can understand that laterite soil generally is or becomes very hard, brick like hard. In some of the places in India, the people take this laterite soil in the brick form and they directly use it in construction of their houses. So in this way you can understand what kind of soil it is. Generally it is found in high temperature and high rainfall region in India, particularly in peninsular part of India. Okay, so high temperature and high rainfall region, you can easily understand. Now in peninsular part of India only there was location of black soil as well as red and yellow soil. So all the places which are not covered by black soil and red and yellow soil in peninsular India, most part of that is being covered by laterite soil. As for example, Ranchi Plateau, Hazaribagh Plateau, part of Chota Nagpur Plateau, that region, and also in some of the part of northeast India. Some of the important characteristics of laterite soil will include laterization. Laterization is nothing but desilication. Desilication, as the name suggests, is removal of silica from top layers of soil, and in this way this soil becomes devoid of silica. Okay, so laterization is a process in which desilication happens, and it happens because of excessive rainfall. In some of the region, particularly in Jharkhand near Ranchi, it is also called as patland. In Ranchi Plateau, the soil or the top soil at the Ranchi, the top of the Ranchi Plateau, that is known as patland, and it is not considered as fertile because it is very hard and resembling to brick. Now, because the silica and also some of the other compounds like lime and silica, they are being removed by the process of leaching because of excessive rainfall. When I say they are removed from top layer, it means they are translocated from top layer to down layer, and in this way the top layer of the soil becomes devoid of lime as well as silica. But since lime and silica is being translocated, it means at the top layer there is over concentration of iron oxide and aluminium oxide. So this is known as sesquioxide. The iron oxide and aluminium oxide is commonly called as sesquioxide. You should write this in examination, and this sesquioxide gives the color red, crimson red to laterite soil. It means laterite soil is also red. Why? Because of presence of sesquioxide. As it is clear, it is not fertile. How the soil can be fertile if it is so hard like brick? And also not fertile because of excessive leaching, and lime and silica is being removed or alleviated from top layers. This soil is devoid of humus. If any soil is devoid of nitrogen or humus or fossil, then it will definitely be devoid of humus as well as nitrogen compound. Okay, I had shown in my previous video that what is the process of humification, and in humification nitrogen is one of the byproduct. So if humification is not taken place, it means nitrogen has not emitted, and in this way it is devoid of nitrogen also. So out of NPK, it is devoid of N and P but rich in potash, that is K. Laterite soil, although it is not very fertile soil, but for a peculiar crop like cashew nut, it is not that bad, and that is why cashew nut is being grown in this soil. Some of the part of Karnataka and other part of peninsular India, which is known for production or cultivation of cashew nut, is done in laterite soil only. Next soil is arid soil. As the name suggests, this soil is very arid. Arid means devoid of moisture. So generally arid soil is found in western part of India, particularly in Rajasthan and larger part of Gujarat, part of Gujarat, part of western UP and part of Haryana, Rajasthan. That region is covered by arid soil. Why the moisture is less? Because of less rainfall. The average annual rainfall is less than 40 centimeter in that region, and that is why the soil became arid. But here you must understand or know that arid soil is not a sterile soil. Not a sterile soil. It can be fertile if moisture is being provided, and that is why Rajasthan is a leading state in terms of production of some of the crops like mustard oil, like the production of mustard, and also a leading state, not topmost state, but within the top 10 states in production of wheat also and some of the other crops also. Why? Because moisture is being provided over there. One of the means by which moisture is being provided there is Indira Gandhi Canal, which is a canal cut from river Satluj from Punjab. It has been stretched till Barmer and Jaisalmer of Rajasthan, which is a very arid region. Now, since it is devoid of moisture, that is why the amount of sand is maximum over here. And as you all know, sand is having the porous character, and the net surface area of sand is less because the texture is larger than silt and clay. The soil is also saline in nature, obviously, because of capillary action. As you all know, capillary action is action by which the water is being dragged or is being transpirated or evaporated from groundwater. Capillary action is the same action by which the kerosene oil is being dragged up in lamp or lantern when we lit the lamp or lantern. So the soil is saline, and that is why at many places in Rajasthan and parts of Gujarat you can find the layer of salt above the soil, which is nothing, is because of saline character. This soil is also devoid of N and P but not K. Potash is being found over here. Okay. And also at some places the phosphate is also present. In this region in Rajasthan, at many places you have seen that rock phosphate is there. So that is why it devoid of N, and at some places it is devoid of phosphate but not everywhere, and it is not devoid of potash. In lower layer in this arid soil you will find kankad. Kankad is nothing, it is the calcareous deposit which was also present in alluvial soil, but here it is present in larger amount. And one of the important characteristics of kankad is that it will not allow water to percolate down to rejuvenate or recharge aquifers. That is why the ground table is continuously decreasing in Rajasthan region. Okay, so this is a very peculiar or unique characteristics of arid soil, that the moisture or water is not able to percolate downward much to recharge the aquifer, but the groundwater is being continuously dragged up by capillary action. So it is like a non-return valve. Non-return valve means the movement is only in one way, or traffic is only one way, not two way. Okay, so this is all about arid soil. Next one is saline soil. Here you can see saline soil, as the name suggests, where the salinity is maximum. So any soil can be transformed into saline soil. Any soil can be transformed into saline soil. As for example, arid soil. Mostly arid soil becomes saline soil, but also other soil like alluvial soil can also become saline soil when salinity go on increasing. The local name of saline soil are different. Ray, Kalar, Usar, Chopan, these are the local names of saline soil at different places. Okay, now in saline soil also the soil becomes saline because of intense capillary action, the same action which I talked in arid soil. So capillary action is generally more intense when the climate is dry and drainage is low. So in this condition, capillary action is high. So dry climate we have in western part of India, particularly in Rajasthan, and low drainage we have mostly in states like Punjab and Rajasthan. Because of excessive irrigation and low drainage, the soil of Punjab and Haryana also became saline. And as you all know, to decrease the salinity and increase the fertility, the gypsum is being added in Punjab and Haryana, because as you all know, Punjab and Haryana are the leading states of green revolution, and they are known for larger cultivation and production of wheat, rice and other crops. Saline soil, when the salinity increases beyond a point, it becomes a sterile soil or infertile soil. Okay, in order to make it fertile, you have to add some of the things like gypsum. Mostly in 3 locations you will be finding saline soil. One is the coastal region, the delta region, as for example Sundarban delta region, where the sea water ingresses inside and makes the soil saline. Second is West Gujarat, run of Kutch, where because of sea wind and monsoonal wind, the fine salt particles, they are being dragged and put in this region and which makes the soil saline. And next is East Coast Delta, as I already mentioned you, and one more region is arid soil region or Punjab Haryana region, where also soil has become saline. Okay. Next soil is peaty soil, as the name suggests. Peat is one of the type of coal. And what is peat? It is the decayed dead remains of flora and fauna, which gets transformed into peat, and further, if subjected into large pressure and temperature, it can be transformed into a better quality of coal. Okay, so peaty soil is generally found in high rainfall and high humidity region. Here you should understand that high rainfall and high humidity, I am not mentioning about temperature. Getting my point? In this way it is different from laterite soil. There high rainfall and high temperature, here high rainfall and high humidity. Okay, then peaty soil, the most important characteristic is that it is very high in organic matter. Very high means almost up to 40 to 50% of the soil is nothing but it is organic matter only. That is why its color is dark, very dark, sometimes black in color. It is found only in 2 localities. One is coastal region, as for example in Malabar region of Kerala, Malabar coast of Kerala. In part of Malabar coast, in waterlogged region, this soil is being found, and the local name for this soil is curry soil in Kerala. And then in Tarai region is foothill region or Piedmont region of Himalaya, particularly in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, where this soil is being found, because there also that region is rich in flora and fauna. Since rich in flora and fauna, that is why it is rich in humus, and since it is rich in humus, the process of humification will be there and nitrogen will be coming out, and in this way rich in nitrogen also. So you can understand that this is the only soil in India which is rich in nitrogen. It means no need to add urea. In all other soil, urea is required, or rather quintessential. This soil is alkaline or acidic. At places alkaline, at places acidic. It is not. It will depend on parent material and other things. Next, it is generally found in marshy and waterlogged condition. Marshy and waterlogged condition. Sometimes the humification process will not be completed because of this character, marshy and waterlogged condition. And when the humification will not be completed, this process will be called as partial humification and not complete humification. Okay, this humification process is undertaken sometime in devoid of air or scarcity of air, and this process is known as anaerobic decomposition. Okay, which is also known as partial decomposition. As I had already told you, in Kerala this soil is locally named as curry soil. Now this is the most important slide in classification of soil. Here you can see the last soil is forest soil. Okay, so here many people think that this is found in forest region of India, particularly in peninsular India. This is not right. It is found in forest region of India, but in Himalayan part of the India. Okay, So forest region of Himalaya, as I have written for you, then the forest soil can be further subdivided into uphill and downhill, or at the slope, at the height, or in valley region. Okay, in uphill region, the texture of the soil is generally coarse because finer particles are being translocated or transported, and since the texture is higher, it means moisture carrying capacity will be lower. Apart from that, since it is there in slope, the soil profile will not be developed because of azonal character, and in this way these all factors will make it less fertile. Whereas in Piedmont region or valley region, the finer particles will be more as compared to uphill region. Apart from that, all the minerals and biotic or abiotic components, they will be finally deposited in the Piedmont region. Further, it will also be transported from that region. But if you are comparing with uphill region, definitely here soil profile will be better or well developed as compared to uphill region. The clay component or silt component will be more as compared to sand component or coarse sediment particle, and that is why the forest soil in this region are relatively fertile and supports cultivation or agriculture. Okay, then again there will be presence of humus or nitrogen. As I told you, the PT soil is only soil. Now you should understand that forest soil is also having humus and nitrogen, not only PT soil. So these two soils are rich in humus and nitrogen, unlike other soils of India where urea is needed to be added. Now this is the distribution of all the 8 important soil of India. I have made this diagram for you, and by various numerals you can see. As for example, this is alluvial soil, number 1. So number 1 is here, 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 here. So this is alluvial soil, as you can see, where all it is spread. It is spread in Punjab, Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, parts of Rajasthan, central and eastern UP, Bihar, Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, coastal Andhra Pradesh, that is Simandra, and Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu. So here you can see alluvial soil. That is why it is said that 40% of India's area is being covered by alluvial soil. Then black soil, again it covers a very large area. As you can see, the main area will include Maharashtra and Gujarat, but also it will cover parts of Madhya Pradesh, parts of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and parts of Tamil Nadu. Then red soil, as I told you, black soil in lowland and red soil in highland of peninsular India. So number 3, so this is red soil region, Karnataka, Kerala, highlands of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Chota Nagpur Plateau. So these are the region of red soil. Apart from that, the region, plateau region or hilly region of northeastern India. Okay, here also in Sahyadri Hills you will find there is presence of red soil. Then number 4 is laterite soil, high temperature, high rainfall. So in this region, the Konkan coast as well as Malabar coast, here you will find laterite soil. Again here in Chhattisgarh and Chota Nagpur region of Jharkhand, where rainfall and temperature is high, here you will find laterite soil, as for example Ranchi Plateau, where it is called as Patland. Then number 4 is laterite soil. So these are the locations where you will see laterite soil. Then next is arid soil. Arid soil is generally found in this